Hey beauties, welcome back to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. I am your host, Sherry Ricard. I'm a medical professional, business leader, author, speaker, and adversity recovery expert, bringing you fascinating guests, business, beauty, and lifestyle tips to help you create a beautiful life. And always committed to keeping it real. Now let's dive in. Today's episode is sponsored by Alexo Athletica. Alexo simply means to defend and to help. Alexo will never back down from supporting a woman's rights to choose how she defends herself while striving to bring the best in fashionable, functional, active carry wear to the market. Alexo is broadening the definition of the word carry to encompass whatever the woman desires to carry in order to feel safe and be able to carry with confidence. Learn more and shop at alexoathletica.com. Welcome back, beauties, to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. I am your host, Sherry. Thank you for joining me today because this is the show for you. I know all the talk right now is about censorship of our right of free speech on our social media accounts. And I have someone with me right now that was actually censored, and we want to talk about this because this needs to be brought to the forefront for all of the Americans. I don't care if you're left or right. All of the Americans have right to speak what they want to speak. So while hosting several different lifestyle TV shows, CEO and co-founder Amy Robbins is also passionate for firearm safety, and she has the desire to see women everywhere live a confident and self-reliant lifestyle. In 2017, Amy created Alexo Athletica because no product had existed on the market that met her needs to feel fashionable while carrying in active wear. Amy is a 2A advocate, national TV and podcast host, and has been seen on Fox News, voicing the American right to bear arms. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Sherry, hi. Thank you so much for having me on today to talk about this super important issue. It's so funny because this is a little out of my wheelhouse on things that I typically post on my social media. I really try to stick very true to talking about the things that I talk about on a daily basis, which is advocating for the Second Amendment. It's what our company's mission statement was founded on. It is really at the core of everything that I do. But what happened yesterday with the censorship issue was just something I simply couldn't ignore anymore. And I had to go on my stories and talk about it. And it's so crazy to me because I'm getting a ton of people calling me today wanting to do interviews about this because apparently there's so many people out there who are seeing what's happening in our country, but they are utterly terrified to step up and to say anything because we live in this cancel culture right now that will try to get your company boycotted, will try to get you fired from your job if you say something. And to be honest, I was just fed up with it yesterday, and I had to go on and do a story, and it's going viral right now.
That's good.
Seeing it, which needs to happen.
That's what needs to happen. And so, ladies, if you're listening, and we're going to catch you up a little bit because this was so important to me as well as Amy, as I decided to push my regularly scheduled podcast show that we already had lined up and edited for today to air, to have Amy on literally at the last minute to be able to talk about censorship. Because Amy, let's fill them in for people that don't know what happened yesterday. Let's talk a little bit about the doctor's video and what came to pass after that.
And I think I'm glad I'm talking to you because, with your background with medical professions, I'm sure this hit very close to home with you. So what happened yesterday? A couple of days ago, there was this white coat summit that was taking place where several doctors from around the country got together and were giving their opinions on some alternative treatment methods to COVID-19. So right now, what you are continuing to see in the news is that there is no treatment. They're talking vaccines, they're talking masks, social distancing, all this, but they're never letting anyone speak up and actually give some opinion on what could treat COVID-19. Now, I am not a medical professional. I am not giving medical advice here at all. This is not even the point of me talking about this, is not to say, hey, and go out and try this. But what happened was a doctor got on and she gave her opinion that hydrochloroquine was an effective treatment method mixed with a couple of other safe FDA approved medications. She gave her medical professional opinion that she has actually been seeing this work in several of her patients. And immediately the video was viewed on Facebook. The president retweeted it. Several other key influencers had retweeted this, got 14 million shares, over 20 million views on Facebook within a few hours. And instantly, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram started shutting down the video. And not only that, but locking out people's accounts that were sharing and passing on this information. What they deemed was discredited information that was checked by their third-party independent fact checkers,
right.
who we don't even know who those people are, were out there censoring all of these posts. So I was fortunate enough to be able to share PagerU's post to my Instagram story, and then it got taken down. So the original PagerU post was removed. Instagram actually removed me reposting that in my story. I don't know what told me to do this, but I screenshotted the fact that it said that this post was passing on false information. I had screenshotted that, and I was able to upload the screenshot to my Instagram story so that they weren't able to take that one down. So they removed that. They removed the PagerU post. And I was so fed up with it at that point, because what we're seeing is this absolute deterioration of our rights and our freedoms in this country. And we don't even look like America anymore.
Right.
And, what irked me about this was not the fact that a doctor was out there giving, maybe an obscure treatment option for COVID. But I believe that we as Americans, as grown adults, as free people, should be able to listen to whatever opinion we want, go do our own research, and then discuss those options with our medical professionals and make a decision for ourselves if that is what we want to pursue. I don't care if this doctor got on there and said that she recommends eating dog poop and make a website about it. I believe that we should have the right to go research that ourselves.
Right.
See if that is an actual treatment method that our personal doctors would prescribe. And then if you want to consume that, consume it yourself and then see what happens.
Right.
But I don't believe that we should be out there censoring and having these third-party independent fact checkers who are they physicians? Are they even doctors? Why are they more credible than medical professionals at telling us what our treatment options are? So I'm extremely tired of this. It's very one-sided to me. I don't believe that freedom of speech is a political issue by any means. This should be a bipartisan issue. But what we are seeing right now is the selective censorship of information.
Right.
And I'm tired of seeing that. I don't think voices on the left or voices on the right should be censored. I see our presidential candidate, Joe Biden, spitting out misinformation constantly when it comes to our Second Amendment rights. He literally went on television and said 120 million people died of gun violence. That is not a correct statement, but did any of the big tech firms censor that video or take that down? No, they pass it off as this is an old senile guy who is running for president of the United States, mind you. And you can very clearly see that these third-party independent fact checkers are not taking down information that somewhat fits an overarching narrative that they want to pass along. So,
right.
But again, if he wants to get on TV and spout misinformation, I think that as free people, we should have the right to go and do our own research on it and believe what we want to believe or not believe what we don't want to believe.
Well, and here's the thing that has me really in arms about this. And I am not one, I don't use my podcast as political standpoints because that's not what my genre and my audience is about. Right. But this is what teed me off about it. Okay. Christians can get teed off too. And this is what teed me off was the fact that I am a medical professional. I am a registered nurse. I've been in this profession for 25 plus years. Right now I'm in corporate America where I go into hospitals all over the country where I am required to wear a mask on the airports. You know that I travel every single week. And I am on multiple airplanes to tell you I'm platinum on most of them, tells you how much I travel. Mm-hmm. So I am required to wear a mask that I can tell you as a medical professional because I've done my research does little good unless it is a fitted N95 mask. Very few people have fitted N95 masks. They're walking around with
Yeah.
pretty cloth masks with little designs and logos and things like that because they're trying to make the best out of a bad situation. I get that. But you're also not protecting yourself from this virus. If you're on an airplane and you have a mask on and you can smell somebody's fart, guess what? The virus can go through your mask. Okay? Let's just call it like it is. Now, the fact that if I were to post this and someone was to take it down infuriates me because what I don't understand, and let's also add that it's YouTube and Google, right? It's not just Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. It is YouTube and Google that is also censoring and taking down these videos.
Well, did you see, I posted a follow-up because a lot of people are asking, well, what's going on? So this group that went and did this summit was called America's Frontline Doctors, and they had a website that was having this information and their alternative treatments listed out on the website. The website's down. So now when you go to americasfrontlinedoctors.com, the website is expired. And I just want answers. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not sitting here saying, like, I just want to know what happened to the website. Did it actually expire? Did the owners of the website take it down? Or did Squarespace, who was their server, did they take it down? So if you're interested in this story, go start doing some digging. The articles that I've been reading is actually stating that Squarespace did expire, like their server actually took them down.
Interesting.
And if that is the case, again, I don't care if someone wants to put a website out trying to convince me that the sky is yellow. I don't care.
Right.
I should have the right to read that and to believe it if I want to believe it.
Right.
Or see through it and say this person is crazy and, you know, not believe it.
They're trying to make it seem like this particular doctor, because I guess somebody had done some research and said that she made a comment about alien DNA and they said she's crazy and she's loony and all this stuff. I don't know the woman, so I am not going to say she's crazy and she's loony. What I am going to say is that she treated many people with this type of regimen of medication along with all the other white coat, very legitimate physicians that are saying the same thing, but yet the entire video was taken down because it did not support the narrative of some politics. So instead of informing Americans the way they should be informed on what can actually help, we have Americans that are dying from COVID because we're waiting on some of these pharma companies to come out with a vaccine that I think, in my medical opinion, this is my medical opinion, before you start spouting off to me, people, my medical opinion is there is no one, me or in my family, that will take a vaccine that was rushed through to the very end to make sure that these pharmas can put big dollars in their pockets and some of these so-called politicians line their pockets with money. And then just to find out 5 years from now, oh, whoops, that vaccine causes you to have a lung transplant. I don't think so. You'd be crazy to take that vaccine right now.
Well, but going back to the point, last time I checked in the Constitution, it didn't give you a freedom of speech if you're sane. It's a First Amendment protected under the Constitution, regardless of if you're crazy or if you're sane.
Yeah, and let's face it, we have a lot of crazies that come on video, and the news medias leave them up all day long, right?
All day long. Again, that is what comes with freedom. I will take that any day, to have the ability to debate in this country, to listen to opposing views, and to listen to people that agree with me, in my opinion. I want that. The second that starts going away, we don't have freedom anymore. It's why I am such a huge advocate for the Second Amendment, because I truly believe that the Second Amendment is the amendment that protects all of our other rights. And not to go down a total rabbit hole here, but the second that the Second Amendment goes away, all of your freedoms and your rights go away as well. Because if you don't have the ability to change your freedom, are you really free?
No.
Do you really have freedom? And so we're seeing this happen right before our very eyes. I can't even tell anymore if we are living in communist China or if we are living in America. This is exactly what the communist regime in China did to their people. And I remember years ago hearing reports that they censor the information that their people can read on the internet, the movies that they can watch, the music that they can listen to. And I thought that is never going to happen here in America. We're never going to see the day where somebody else makes our decisions for us, but we're seeing it right now. If you're seeing politicians messing with our health, putting policies in place, censoring information because they don't think that we are smart enough to make that decision for ourselves.
Right.
And that is exactly what I am sick and tired of seeing in this country. And, we have an election coming up in November, and we just need to be paying attention. I'm not here to tell you what candidate to vote for, who to vote for, if you should be right, left, center. I don't care. I just want you to, if you value your freedom and you truly want to have the decision in the future to make decisions for yourself, then you need to be paying attention as to what's going on and who is supporting your freedom to decide if you want to take hydroxy freaking chloroquine all day long. Like, I'm not here to tell you to take it. I don't know if you should take it. I think that you should talk to your doctor. This is why we go to the doctor, to seek out medical professional advice.
Right.
And guess what? People get second opinions all the time. You don't like Dr. Emanuel's recommendation of hydroxychloroquine, I believe it was azithromycin and zinc. If you don't like that, guess what? Go to another doctor and get an alternative treatment, or go to your hospital that's not going to treat you at all, that's going to put you on a ventilator and is going to also play with your health.
Right.
I mean, you should have the freedom to decide and to seek out whatever medical professional you want, do your own research, and then decide for yourself what you want to do. If it were me and my health, I know I'm seeking it out, and I want to know all of my options that are available. My personal physician here in McKinney has been treating numerous COVID-19 patients in his office. He keeps a tally. I can't even get an appointment with him right now because he's getting over 500 new patient calls a day, because he posted a similar video months ago that also got taken down by Twitter.
Wow.
His cocktail is azithromycin, hydroxychloroquine, losartan, aspirin, and zinc. Okay. He has had a 100% success rate of clearing up symptoms and 0 hospitalizations. Again, I'm not giving you medical advice. That's just what he's doing. And if you happen to want to seek out a professional that will do some alternative medications, maybe give them a call.
Right.
See if it's right for you. But
here's the thing, though: seeking medical advice can't happen if they're taking down every single thing that gives us the medical advice.
You're
right?
Exactly
Because some of these drugs, well, all of these drugs, I mean, come on, aspirin and zinc and azithromycin, everyone's been taking that for years and years and years. Okay. What is the first thing they do? They give you a Z-Pack when you have a respiratory infection, right? So here's the thing. And what people don't understand, and I am talking from a medical professional standpoint, is you need to know all the facts. You need to be able to have second opinions. You need to be able to look at videos. What is the first thing that we do when we want information? Google, right? I started my podcast show because I Googled. Well, and I called you too, Amy. But between you and Google, Amy can be my Google. I Googled information and learned how to do what I wanted to do. Okay. And that was empower women, get other women on my show that can help other people be able to accomplish things that they want to do. If they took my podcast down, what would that mean? I'm being censored because I can't share the information that I want to share because all of a sudden maybe a politician doesn't want to empower women. And I'm about equality. I don't care if you're black, yellow, white, red, purple. I don't care.
That's where we're headed. That's exactly where we're headed, Sherry, because if you start censoring this, what's next? Somebody doesn't like that I allow women, my company allows women the ability to carry a firearm in their pants. Let's say they're anti-gun and they don't believe in that. So what, are they going to censor and take off my company, my livelihood off of the internet? We're an e-commerce store. We sell through the internet. So they shut down our website, or they shut down our social media pages, which is where we do all of our advertising. We no longer have a company. And forget the fact that now we are leaving millions of women defenseless because our company is shut down. That doesn't matter. And so you can very quickly see how fast this entire thing starts to snowball. And it might not be affecting you ladies and gentlemen who are listening to this podcast right this second. But if we continue down this path, it will start affecting your life in some shape, form, or fashion in the future. So we've got to stop being afraid. We've got to stop being scared of these big tech firms, of these politicians that wish to silence us, and start standing up and speaking out against this when you see it.
No, I 100% agree. And I personally, I went on and did a social media live with someone, and we mentioned Christianity and we mentioned Black Lives Matter, and I was immediately told that my video was seen by someone at corporate in HR. So you know what? It is what it is. I have the right to say what I want to say, and I'm going to continue to do it because, I'm in my 50s. So I'm at the point right now where, maybe when I was in my 30s, I'd be a little censored, but I'm in my 50s and I'm going to say what is right. I am a Christian. I am led by the Lord. I also am a very stern person. I tell people all the time, I love Jesus a lot, but I still cuss a little. And I like my wine at night. I'm not perfect. But the one thing that I stand behind is my First and Second Amendment right, and all of our rights as Americans and as women to be able to do that, what we want to do and we need to do to protect us and our children. Because above all, we are protectors. We are protectors of our kids. Mm-hmm. Our husbands are protectors of us, but we are protectors of our household and our children.
Yep.
No one's going to come to bat for your kids like you will, right? Nope, and so you have to get out there. And if you're going to be able to be a spokesperson for women, no matter what it is, you have to be able to go on social media and Google. And, and I wanted to add this too, because I thought about this last night and then I saw someone else mention it. So it's worth mentioning. Why is it that we still have missing and exploited children, and we have child pornography? Mm-hmm. We can research on Google, but yet Google doesn't take that down.
I posted that. Yeah, I posted that exact thing yesterday. It was I retweeted it from somebody, and then I screenshotted it, put that in my Insta story. And you're exactly right. Again, this has to, at some point, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you are a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, or you don't vote at all. You've got to be able to filter through this BS that is going on right now.
Right.
That is selective censorship. We have a serious child sex trafficking problem in this country. You don't hear about it on the media.
Nope.
You are not hearing a single person talk about it. You're starting to see things come out and be exposed from what's going on with Epstein, with Hollywood, and several other key big groups that are facilitating this trafficking. And you don't hear a word about it.
It doesn't feed the narrative of certain politicians. That's all it is.
But we know the statistics show that child pornography is a gateway into sex trafficking, and yet it's wildly available. It is readily available, and Google is not shutting it down. These big tech firms are not shutting it down. Why? You have to ask yourself why. Don't get to a point where you stop asking why, because the second you stop asking why and you just believe everything that's being fed to you and told to you, we're in serious trouble.
So what do you suggest? Amy? Like we're talking about people getting their voices out, and then on the same time, we're talking about, hey, if you get your voice out, you could be censored and it could be taken down. What do you suggest? I
honestly just suggest that you have to get to a point in your life where you get fed up with it and you're comfortable speaking out. I mean, the fear factor is real. The cancel culture is real. It is out there, but you have to do what's comfortable for you. For me, I just finally made a personal decision. My husband and I spoke about this. Again, we know that our livelihood is through social media and e-commerce platforms, but we just decided that this is too important. Our freedom is too important to sit back and to be quiet about it any further. And so, with his okay, I was like, I got to get on and I got to do this video. And he's like, you got to do what you have to do, Amy. And I totally support you. I totally support you speaking up and speaking out against this. And so that was the personal decision that I made. Everybody's going to get to their tipping point at different times in their life. And you just have to make that decision for yourself. But I just got sick and tired of it, and I had to do something about it and say something yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I'm 100% with you, and that's why I repost the things that you post, because I believe it's important that people know and understand what's going on. You know, I heard someone say the other day, I don't even watch the news anymore because it's too depressing. Well, you know what?
Agreed.
It's depressing. It is depressing. But and I get on to my husband sometimes. I'm like, you know, turn that off, because I listen to my inspirational podcast and my Joel Osteen, right? But
Yep.
I can't be naive and ignorant to the fact of what's going on in America. So I do subject myself to the energy vampires that I see on television, both CNN and Fox, because I want to see what one is doing versus the other. And I see so much BS and so much lies that are going out there. And then you have a lot of those on CNN that are supporting the censorship. And that's what upsets me. And that's what we need to open our eyes to, because enough is enough. Amy, I appreciate you so much. I want you to give us some final words, but I also don't want to go off because I know you have another meeting. I don't want to leave without you telling us about Alexo Athletica and about your active wear where we can carry, because you know that I'm super excited. I am an official gun owner at the age of 50 something. I'm going to say 50 something until the day I die. At the age of 50 something, I'm an official gun owner. I have not been able to practice because the gun range is shut down. But my husband is a very, very good shoot. He was in the police force for 8 years before he retired from that. So I do know how to shoot. Breaking in my house would not be the best thing for anyone to do. Wouldn't be smart. Wouldn't be smart, because I might try to aim at your leg and it may go somewhere else. I'm just kidding. And it would be purely by accident at this point. But I will tell you, I am very excited about you and everything that you stand for. You're always out there. I know you're a new mom and you're super busy. But I want you to tell everyone about your active wear where you can carry. It's not just a gun, ladies. If you don't carry a gun, you can carry mace, you can carry other things, tasers, stun guns, whatever it is to protect you from basically being attacked, raped, death, whatever some, crazy person wants to do to you, you have to be able to protect yourself. So tell everybody about Alexo Athletica.
Well, we're living in a crazy time right now, and it should be very obvious to everybody if you do watch the news, especially with what's going on with the calls to defund the police. Whereas we might have used to put our safety and the responsibility of our safety onto the police might not be there in the future to help you. And we also know that during an attack, you've got seconds and the police are minutes away. So while I'm very thankful that they're there as an alternative, I believe that we are our best first line of defense. And right now we are starting to see women. You just said you became a new gun owner. Well, you just joined the ranks of 2 million first-time female gun owners.
Wow.
Very excited about that, because you were seeing this rise and women start to take responsibility for their safety and exercising their Second Amendment right. And again, it's not about the firearm necessarily. I personally believe, for me, that the firearm is the great equalizer. I am trained, I'm proficient, I am an NRA certified handgun instructor, but I don't think you have to be an NRA certified handgun instructor to be able to carry a firearm. I think that if you want to take the responsibility to go get the training to learn how your firearm operates, and then you want to carry it on your body when you go through the proper licensing, if your state requires licensing, to be a safe, responsible gun owner, then I think you have the right to go do that. If firearms aren't for you, you're not comfortable with them, no problem. We have compartments and special pockets and places within our leggings and our shorts and our bottoms that allow women to carry any self-defense tool of choice. So if you're comfortable with a mace, with a taser, with a small pocket knife, we encourage you to carry what you feel comfortable to give you the ability to carry with confidence, because we know when you have the ability to defend and protect yourself, it gives you this next level of empowerment and confidence that you can't get anywhere else. And so we designed Alexo with all of that in mind. We are the first active carry wear brand on the market that allows women to have these options and the ability to carry. But the great thing about it is we're very fashionable, very fashion forward. With my background in the modeling and entertainment industry, it was very important to me that women look their best and feel their best and have the ability to defend and protect themselves. And that's exactly what you're going to get with Alexo. I say our pants lift you up, suck you in, and smooth you out.
And yes, they do.
Make your butt look really good. And as we're growing and expanding, we're adding new things to our line. We can't keep up with the demand fast enough right now. If you go to our website and we're sold out of your size, we apologize. We got hit with COVID just like everybody else did. Our production was shut down for 6 months. We're trying to ramp back up and meet those demands of those 2 million new gun owners, and we just can't keep things in stock soon enough. So sign up for our newsletter, because we will always send out restock alerts as soon as we get new shipments in of our product. So you can find us at alexoathletica.com. I'm on Instagram, Alexo Athletica, at Alexo Athletica, and you can shop our Instagram pages. You can follow my personal page, which is the Amy Robbins, and we're also on Facebook as well. So definitely check it out. And if you are interested in finding out more about what self-defense tool might be best for you, shoot us a DM. We're super engaged and interactive on our page, because this is our passion. This is what we absolutely love, helping women decide what is best for them. And we would love to take the time to help you as well.
Well, thank you, Amy. I appreciate you so much, because I will tell you, I thought that I was a confident woman. I mean, I wrote a book on it, right? Literally, until I became a gun owner. And then my husband will tell you that my confidence shot through the roof. I was at a 10, I'm now at a 15.
It's next level when you don't have to rely on somebody else.
You're right.
You tap into the power that God has given you, the ability that God has given you to take responsibility for your life. That is literally next level empowerment and confidence. And, I just encourage all women to go at least learn about firearms. At least if they're going to be in your house, or you've ever wanted to learn about them, go and get the training. Learn how they operate, learn how they work. It reduces the fear of the firearm, and it increases your confidence. So I highly recommend seeking out a professional that can help you get some training and learn what you're doing. Because look, I didn't know what I was doing about up until 5 years ago with guns. I was a little afraid of them. And until I started learning how they operate, how they work, and I knew that I could finally hit the target, that is what gave me that confidence where I am now, and really led me down the path of what I'm doing at this point.
Woo, wait till I can hit that target really good. It's going to go up to a 20 level.
Well, come to Texas and come shoot with me.
I will. I will. I love Dallas. I love all my Dallas girls. I have a lot of friends there. I love it.
I know.
Thank
we
you
miss
so much.
you.
I know.
You're
I miss
welcome.
you too. I miss you too. Thank you again. And ladies, listen, you know what? If you don't know what to say on your social media, just take a screenshot of this podcast and you can repost it and tag Amy, the Amy Robbins, on Instagram, and Real Girl Talk Podcast on Instagram. If you don't have anything to say yourself, just send this podcast to some of your girlfriends and have them repost, because we said it all right now. We need to be able to have our free speech. Our First and Second Amendment rights are being violated, and we have to stand up, ladies. It's time. So until next week, I hope you have a blessed week, and we'll be praying for you.
The loss of a loved one is a nearly universal emotional crisis. Unprocessed grief and painful feelings can be buried, leaving you to feel numb. But there is hope. Certified grief counselor, RN, and author Sherry Ricard shares her story of how to cope in her first book, Wake Up Call, A Mother's Grief Journey, after the loss of her 17-year-old son. This book, along with Sherry's other books, are available on Amazon as well as on sherryricard.com.